And I want to get you fixed right in the head so that we get this thing rolling in the right direction so we can create a little momentum. This is the best time that you have to change your life is right now. And that's honestly like...
hit on last week, like when we were introducing the individuals that had made those big changes in the transformation camp, and you noted this, I think, in our meeting, they all joined this time last year.
Right. This is and it's a great time to make that change. I mean, myself personally, I made the change for me right at the same period of time. So like, it's a great time to change your life. One, your mindset's in the right place. Two, everybody else is doing it, so it's easier when your friends are doing it, you're kind of creating momentum. Three, you got a long time until spring, summertime, busy season gets here, so let's create good habits now. Let's take the time to educate yourself now on how this system works and how you can fix this long term for you. And it's going to work more efficiently, and quite honestly, you're going to get better results now before before you start, fall off, restart, because we didn't go through these basic steps. And I think, one thing that we really preach on is making sure you hit your protein number. I have a few guys, and I'm contemplating doing a private group. I thought about doing a dad's group and then a men's group, and then I thought about doing a private group. And then I thought, well, this is what the My Transformation page is. But I have about 10 people that I text back and forth with supplementation or nutrition. Guys, we preach, make sure you hit your calories. Make sure you're hitting your protein number. Your protein number should be approximately 40% of your daily caloric intake. So if you think you're not doing it correctly and your protein number is not 40% of that number, reach out to us. We'll help you out. We really, you don't have to dial into nutrition from day one and make sure your carbs and fats, and you got to just start rowing the boat in the right direction. And that comes with making sure you're getting into workouts, making sure you're hitting your calorie number, not shorting it by 500. If you short your calorie number by 500, that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. The reason if you're a grown male, or like myself, I have 2,400 calories a day. If I hit 2,000, that's a loss. That's not a win. That's a loss. The goal is for me to hit 2,400, and I'm trying to lose fat just like you guys are. So my goal is to hit 40% protein and the rest carbs and fats. But I got to hit 2,400 calories, not 2,000, not 1,800. And that's something that we see a lot in the challenge, or really in our businesses. They say, well, I stayed under 2,400 by 300 or 400 calories. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. We need your protein number high. We need your fuel sources at the right number, and we need you moving. We need you moving, doing some resistance training, doing some work. If you guys can do that, and you can be honest with yourself, which is the part that I'd like to get into today, you will win, okay? But you gotta be a student of the game. I'll just get into do we have more?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of answering as we go. So I think
okay.
I think you hit your topic of instruction. Listen, going back to the briefing and military, your topic of instruction, and then we can hit the questions as we go, and then we can ask some of them.
I was going to make this my story today, and I held off because I wanted to say it to this group first, because I think it's most impactful, and me personally, and I know these two guys are, and I know our company is as a whole. I'm passionate about what this is because I know what it's done for me personally. Okay, and I want you to really think about this as I ask you this question. You are exactly what you tolerate, okay? What do I mean by that? You are exactly what you tolerate. So if you tolerate what looks back in the mirror at you, that is what you're going to get, okay? If you tolerate that, well, I don't understand the information, so I'm not really sure what to do, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the same results you've always gotten. If you tolerate the fact that, well, I'm sore, and I'm not going to go to the gym today, and I'm not going to move because I'm sore, and you tolerate that, you're going to get the same results that you've gotten for the last however many years. And the reason I say you tolerate, because if you can raise your level to expect a little bit more of yourself, okay? What is that? What does that look like? Expect a little bit more of yourself from the standpoint of, all right, I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to really dig in this time. I'm going to learn about protein, carbs, and fats and calories, and I'm going to stick to this plan. I'm going to manage my food through MyFitnessPal. I'm going to make sure that I'm giving myself the best opportunity to succeed. And what you're tolerating there is the fact that you want to win. You're going to raise your level. And when you raise your level, you're investing back in yourself. And that's the most important piece, is that you're not going to tolerate yourself to be mediocre. Don't tolerate what looks back at you. Understand that you, each and every single one of you that's joins this challenge, can make a change. but it comes with educating yourself first. You have to understand the importance and the role that food plays in this transformation, okay? Like I say all the time, you didn't get fat in 3 weeks, you're not going to get in shape in 3 weeks. Food is going to control the outcome of what happens. Supplements will speed that up, or can speed that up, only if you have food and exercise in check, okay? Why is this important? It's important because the best version of you, the reason you signed up for the transformation, the best version of you needs to understand food. You see, most people do not understand that peanut butter is a fat. I was having a conversation with a gentleman yesterday. He assumed it was a carbohydrate. It's not. It's a fat. It's not a protein either. But when tracking your food, and honestly, diligently tracking your food, you learn to teach yourself what these foods are. What are black beans? Are they a protein or are they a carb?
Well, let's do that real quick. Just a quick, let's go with heart and thumbs up. So thumbs up for black beans if you think they're a protein source. Hearts if you think they're a carb source.
And be honest, it takes a second for this to roll through.
Yeah. Just don't think it, don't look it up, just boom, go for it.
Hearts are protein.
Hearts are carbs.
So I forgot what
All right. Look, that's a
It's me.
perfect example. It's a 50-50 decision. Black beans are a carbohydrate. They're not. Do they have protein? They do have protein, but they're primarily a carbohydrate. And so understanding that, okay, when I'm going through Chipotle, I'm the first bowl, you're getting rice, carbohydrate. You add black beans, carbohydrate. So you start looking at, okay, when I went carb, where's my protein source? Okay, well then I go chicken, right? So but I really like guacamole or I like cheese. Well, that's a fat and a fat. You know, so now we got carb, protein, fat. There's 2 carbs, 2 fats, and 1 protein. Our balance is off. But if you don't know that going into that situation, if you don't understand the difference because you haven't been tracking your food, you've been guessing at your food because you do not want to invest in yourself, in the knowledge to teach yourself how this works, you will not win. And that's what I don't want you to do. What I don't want you to do, and I think what our role is here, is to put in the work for 3 or 4 weeks and really bust your ass in the gym. You're at Chipotle, you're at Panera Bread, you're eating a healthy salad, but are you really? Are you tracking it properly? The cool thing about the apps today is they're very accurate. If you're honest to yourself and you can learn, hey, listen, like right now, I could show you my FitnessPal. I've had a lot of protein today and I've had a lot of fats today. Well, I've already hit my fat number. So tonight I need to really focus on a carbohydrate choice and a protein choice. There's no more fats that can be allowed in my diet. Now I know that because I've been paying attention throughout the day. I've trained myself to think this way. And so when I go to make a food choice for this evening's meal, I say, hey, I'm going carb and protein. I don't have any room for fats. And what I do not want to see is you put in the hard effort and work for 3 or 4 weeks, which I have done. I've done myself for years and years and years and fail. And you're in the gym, you're sweating, you're working hard, you're doing everything right that you think is right, but you haven't taken the time to truly invest in tracking your food, being a student of this game, and setting yourself up for the win. That's what I don't want to see happen. Because here's what I can tell you. If you can put in that work for 3 or 4 weeks and you're doing it mostly, if you did it properly, that's the difference of you losing 2 pounds or 12 pounds. And 2 pounds, you might have the conversation with yourself that, you know what, this just isn't worth it. It's not worth me sacrificing everything I got for 2 pounds. At 12 pounds, you say, you know what, I'm really liking where this is going. I want to learn a little bit more. And at 12 pounds is when we sit down and you really start learning about supplementation and what's the difference between level 1 and formula 1 and how do we play a role in this conversation and how do I do better? How do I take 12 pounds and make it 24 pounds? And that's something that we as a group have specialized in over the last really 20 years. But more importantly, through social media over the last 4 or 5 through the MyTransformationStartsToday.com challenge. I understand and we understand that is where this starts and ends. is your willingness to be able to not necessarily put in the physical work, but are you willing to put in the educational work to teach yourself the differences in food? And if you are, if you say, hey, this is my year, this is what I want to do, you will track your food diligently, and you will learn the difference between a carbohydrate, a fat, and a protein. And when you approach food, you will have a different relationship with food. Not because you like some foods or others, because you understand the game, and you understand it's the difference between you losing 2 pounds and 12 pounds, and you're willing to put in that work. And this is not the last piece, because I never have the last piece, as we all know. I tell my guys this all the time. I tell them every Monday. And I tell myself this, actually, very, very regularly. This is your life. That's what you need to understand. This is your life. This is not your kid's life. It's not your husband or wife's life. This is your life. And you owe it to yourself to be the very best version of yourself. And here's what I can tell you, is if you commit to learning just these few next weeks, just learning the difference in tracking your food, making sure you're tracking your exercise, your water intake, and you can put in the work. The one thing that I can promise you is when you look at this group of individuals on the other end of the screen and you look at this community of people, this group of people will help you change your life, and it'll help unlock the freedom for your life, okay? We want you to be the very best version of yourself, and the only way you can do that is to obtain knowledge. Obtain the knowledge on how to eat properly, how to exercise properly, and how to live a healthy, balanced lifestyle. And the reason that's important is because you guys all have friends. A lot of you guys have kids. A lot of you guys have husbands and wives. And how this thing becomes contagious is you setting the example for the environment that you live in. You being that center of influence that creates the change in your household. Me personally, I've been here. I now have literally 30, 40, 50 friends. I mean, I got 100,000 people that virtually through the system I connect with on a personal and emotional level, because I know the work that it takes to get there, and I can be that influence that helps them get out of bed each day, that helps them attain a little bit more knowledge, that can inspire them to be a better version of themselves. And it starts with you obtaining the knowledge. You have to obtain the knowledge, because if you don't have the knowledge and you don't have the little bit of experience that it's going to take, you can't give that to somebody else. You can't be the 20% version of the best version of yourself and go tell somebody else to be the best version of themselves. We're all a work in progress. Me, Teach, Jeremy, we are a work in progress. But the one thing that we're not is we're not the worst version of ourselves. We're a work in progress, closer to the back end, hopefully best versions of ourselves, because we're doing the work. We're able to get on this screen and talk to thousands of people over the course of the night. Literally tens of thousands of people will watch this video. And you think, how can our knowledge help these people become better versions of themselves? And that's what we live for, and that's what we're here for, and that's what I challenge you to do, is take the challenge to be you. Be the best version of you, and take the next 2 weeks to learn it. It doesn't take, this is not a doctorate at Harvard. This is paying attention to a few small tips, small tricks. Our staff is here. Our staff will help. Our staff will give you everything that you need educationally for free to unlock your life, and that's what we're here for. But you can't be on this side of the screen until you have made that effort, you have made that investment in yourself, and you've given life hell. And I can tell you, when we sit on that side and you can look back and look at your journey, you'll be damn proud of yourself too. And that's the part that gives us goosebumps. That's why we wake up and do what we do every day. Quite honestly, that's why I'm here, taking time away from my kids to be with you guys, because I know what it's like to be you. And that's something you have to understand. And when I say you, we all have problems. We all have unique problems. What I mean is, you've made that decision somewhere in your brain that this is the year. I'm going to be the best version of myself, and I'm going to give it hell. And what I'm telling you is, continue, please, to invest in yourself. And the second you start doing that, it'll pay you back 10x. I got to get a water.
Woo! All right, so back to the question, guys, on the black beans in general, beans in general. A cup of beans is roughly going to be 40 some grams of carbohydrate. Now, that could be 42, that could be 44, based on which one we're talking about, and 12 to 14 grams of protein. So it is a carbohydrate source first that has some protein.
Yeah. If you were using black beans to hit a protein number, what's going to happen there is that it's going to be extremely skewed and it's going to be very, very off balance. As you can see, the carbs are 3, almost 4 times higher than the protein.
What questions we got?